Hello and welcome to the Alien vs Predator Galaxy YouTube channel. This is Aaron Percival, aka Corporal Hicks, and joining me as always is
Adam Zeller, aka RidgeTop, for once looking scruffier than you do because it's my morning.
Look, scruff is half of my charm. I very nearly messaged you and went, don't take the time to put any makeup on, please. Let's just record this.
What are you
Mr.
talking about?
Vanity
Makeup?
over there.
Think I put on makeup?
I know you do. Anyway, we're here to talk about some news that's just dropped, an announcement that's just dropped. An announcement I think all of us were expecting at some point. I mean, I certainly was.
We knew it was only a matter of time. Yeah.
And to be fair, how long has it taken? 3 years? 2
When did
years?
the first Marvel Predator comics, I mean, if we're going by announcement, that was what, 2020 it was announced?
Yeah.
But I mean,
About
we didn't
3
see
years.
the first Predator arc until last year.
Yeah, but that was all legal stuff as well, blah, blah, blah. But I think we all expected it. And I think that was an initial knee-jerk reaction of a lot of people when it was announced. And I sort of rolled my eyes at the knee-jerk reactions because, yes, of course, we were going to get it. And it didn't necessarily mean it was going to be a bad thing because there's been some really fucking good crossovers.
Yeah. Well, tell us, Aaron, what was announced?
So, it has been announced the first Marvel Predator... well, or Alien, but Predator specifically here, crossover series has been announced, and it's Predator versus Wolverine.
We got a crossover before Alien versus Predator.
It's because that nobody respects that apparently. I know. I know.
This is cool to see.
One.
This is cool to see. I think it's a great first choice in terms of Marvel character to go up against the Predator. You know, we've seen a fan film about it before. Cover art here is really nice.
That's by Marco Cheschito. Sure how to pronounce that. You know me in names.
Cheschito? I don't know.
But yeah, I mean that's some cool fucking cover art.
And seeing Wolverine like that makes me think like this could be early in his, like, you know, after he's Weapon X.
Well, I mean so we're jumping around a little bit here, but apparently the story will span decades.
I see.
So Benjamin Percy, who is the writer on this run, we'll talk about him shortly as well. You know, in the announcement, he'd explained the scope of the crossover as this epic hunt will span decades as both of these giants learn and harden and grow deadlier with time. Neither will have time to bleed, but you better make time to read because I'm putting everything I got into this event and I'm told to join forces with some of the best artists in the business. And again, we'll talk about that one as well shortly. But in terms of the actual narrative that was announced, do you want to read that one, Adam?
Sure. The thrill is the kill. Wolverine has lived one of the longest and most storied lives in comics history. Now witness the untold greatest battles of Logan's life against a predator. One Yachtja seeks the greatest prey in existence and finds it in Weapon X. From the blood-ridden snows of the Canadian wilderness to the sword-slinging streets of Madripoor, I hope that's correct too, Wolverine and a predator break everything in their paths on their way to the ultimate victory or glorious death.
That sounds cool. I mean, look, when I was younger, I used to loathe the crossovers. I just did. I hated them. And as I got older, you know, the last 10 years or so, I've really chilled out to the crossovers. And there's been some really, really good ones. You know, the Batman versus Predator stuff is just pure class. It is brilliant.
Yeah.
And somehow, I have no idea how, Archie versus Predator was really good and really entertaining. So I've chilled out a lot to the idea of the Alien and the Predator crossing over with other franchises. And, you know, I expected it when the Marvel announcement was made. And like you said, this is a really, really good first matchup. It just works, doesn't it? I mean, they're both very primal creatures, and even like some of the superficial stuff of the the hand blades, his bones, whatever, just visually is very similar to the wrist blades of the Predator. So it feels like a very interesting pairing to pit together, especially because of the Predator is at his best when he's going for genuinely threatening prey. And what's more threatening than a dude who regenerates and has his own weapons built into his biology? I think this is going to be really fun.
Yeah.
Potentially could be really fun.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't crazy about Aliens Aftermath, but that was a one shot. So
yeah. So Benjamin Percy, who is writing this crossover, and this is a 4-issue crossover series, previously wrote Aliens Aftermath, which, yeah, I wasn't crazy about either. And initially I enjoyed it, but then when we talked about it for the podcast and we started to talk a bit more in depth about it, it kind of
fell apart for you?
It fell apart for me, yeah. So that previous credit is a little bit, I wouldn't say it puts a dampener on it, but I'm just kind of like, okay.
I mean, it's not a fair judgment call because I'm less familiar with his overall comic work. I have to look into that a bit more. It's not like it was terrible, though. I mean, it's not like it was bad. It was just
mid.
No, yeah. The thing that's really concerning,
hang on, before we run on to that. So, one of the things the announcement pointed out was that Benjamin Percy was writing Wolverine at the minute, and he's also writing the X-Force series, which I believe Wolverine is a part of that team. I think.
Well, appropriate then.
Mm-hmm. So now you may go on to your controversy.
Okay, so one of the things we noticed is that there's multiple interior artists slated to be a part of this run. Aaron, you had the interesting prediction that maybe it'll be a different artist per like time frame that we see in the comic. So it says and many more though. So we have 4 artists listed here already, but it's a 4-issue run. So I'm like, are we seeing multiple artists per issue? Like what?
Well, do you remember Aliens Havoc?
That's right. That one jumped around quite a bit. Wasn't it like page to page? It was a different artist or something?
And that was, I guess, more to illustrate different POVs within the narrative of that series. And that was a very interesting visual experiment. And I'm thinking this might be sort of what's going to go on here. Yeah, I'd suggested off air before we started recording this that I thought it was going to be for the different time periods, because I thought that'd be a nice. I mean, that's my theory, is that it's going to be a different artist for the different time periods, because I think it'll be a nice way of differentiating the different times that we're in.
So we have Andrea DeVito, Ken Lashley, Kai Zama. I'm not familiar with those artists or their work, but the next one here we'll be familiar with, and that is Greg Land. You might remember him from his cover swipe he did of Marvel's first Alien Omnibus run that caused a bit of a stir in the community because he essentially jumbled bits of respected artist Tristan Jones' Alien and swiped it. And he has a history of tracing and swiping. So I have no idea why Marvel keeps hiring this guy, but it looks like, unfortunately, he will be doing some of the interior artwork for this one.
Mm-hmm. And the annoying thing is, hasn't he also done some very nice Predator covers that weren't traced or swiped?
I'm not sure. Yeah, maybe he did some variants. So I don't know. There's always time to change one's ways, I guess. So hopefully, but
I know you're going to be going through this run.
Oh boy, I'm gonna have a field day with this one. Yeah, I mean, but I'm not the only one to have done that. People have put these big collages of Greg Land and all the swipes he's done. He has a long history of it. So unfortunately not very encouraging with that, but thankfully he's not the main artist on the run. He's one of many. So,
and hopefully it won't be too much longer before we get a preview of the interior or some of the interior artwork of this run. Not long to wait for it to come out. It's been announced for September for the first issue. No solid date yet, but just September. But yeah, I mean, thoughts on Greg Lander's side and the lack of love necessarily for Benjamin's previous work that we've seen within the franchise. I'm really looking forward to this. I'm actually genuinely excited to see how this one pans out, and I really hope it's. I really hope it lives up to its potential.
Yeah, likewise. I mean, beyond the land thing, there's just a number of other artists listed, so we'll look beyond that for now. And I'm looking forward to it too. Again, you were right in saying that we just knew this was going to happen. I mean, when they announced Marvel was acquiring the license, they did it with teases of crossovers. You know, Guardians of the Galaxy with Alien, and then Iron Man with Predator.
When we had all those various variant cover arts for Marvel's mainline comics, where it included aliens and predators, that were cool.
Yeah,
A lot of them were really nice.
Yeah.
So it's been a long time coming, but yeah, good choice.
I think it's the first Marvel, because with Dark Horse it was always against DC characters, right? They never did a Marvel one ever. So
they never crossed over with Marvel, but I don't think it was always DC because
right. I mean, as far as like superheroes go, like big superheroes, you know.
Well, does Wildcats count as a superhero?
You got me. I mean, yes, there were non-DC characters that they crossed over with. So I'm sorry for any fans of those other franchises, but those are big too. But you know what I mean, between the big two, DC and Marvel. Like
they never crossed over with Marvel in an official capacity. So, yep, cool. Any other thoughts on that, or are we happy?
No, I mean, I guess Predator Arc 2 will be concluding its run, like next month? Or the month after, something like that.
It's a 5-issue run, isn't it? Yeah, and I think they're on issue 3 at the minute. So, yeah, I think it'll probably have concluded by the time Predator versus Wolverine drops.
Yeah, but I mean, it's nice to just see another series, you know, within the franchise, the first crossover series under Marvel. So very much looking forward to it. Just get on with AVP already. That's the crossover we really want.
And to be fair, I've been enjoying Alien Thor quite a lot as well. So it'll be, and Arc 2 actually of Predator.
Yeah, both seem solid so far. I'm looking forward to reviewing those.
Yeah, so keep it up, and hopefully this one's good. How are you guys and girls out there feeling about this first official Marvel crossover? Let us know down in the comments. How are you thinking about it? What you hoping to see? Because this could be really, really interesting. So let us know. As always, be sure to check out the hub of our activity on avpgalaxy.net. And if this is one of your first stumbles across our YouTube channel, go back to the main YouTube page, check out some of our other content. We do hard work putting these things out there. And I think we do a good job. But yeah, go check them out. If you like what we're doing, do all that usual YouTube bullshit of subscribing to us and liking the videos and what have you. It all helps the algorithms that help us be visible to other fans. So thank you everybody for watching. This has been Corporal Hicks
and RidgeTop
signing off.